for putting on this fabulous event. It was all their idea, and I hardly did anything, and I love that. So, so I used to think it was unfortunate that I'm a Democrat living in a red county. But I have determined that in the state of the politics that we have today, I am in the place where I can make the biggest difference in healing the political divide. So do your friends know you're a Democrat? And I know some of you are independents and some of you are Republicans, and I love that. Yeah. And I love that you're here. But we have a great party platform, and you can find it on MichiganDems.com. And we must be willing, brave actually, to stand up and proudly say that I am a Democrat. We must be respectful, and we must engage in honorable conversations with our neighbors, be they Republicans or Democrats or Independents. I challenge you to listen more than you speak and to build bridges of understanding. So tonight, in addition to our congressional candidates, I have some people I'd like to just give a shout out to. This is Ron Dreyer. He is running for the House 72nd District. So he lives in Kentwood, and it includes Kentwood, Gaines Township, Dorr, and Wayland, and Layton Township. And that's the 72nd. And then next to him is Wayland's own, Mike Salisbury, and he is running for County Commissioner in District 4. And then this is Mark Ludwig. He lives in Clyde Township, which, if you don't know your townships, that's okay. Clyde Township is the Benville area, and he is running for the 80th House seat, which is everything except the part Ron has. And this is my good friend Rachel. No, we're not going to talk like that. And then this is Rachel Collingsworth, and she lives in Plainwell, and she'll be running in the 7th District, which includes Wayland Township, Martin Township, Gunplain Township, and the City of Plainwell. And Christy Clemens is not here tonight, but she's running in District 1, which is the Saugatuck, Douglas, Benville, including Laketown Township area. And this gentleman on the end is Dennis Deno, and he's running for the Michigan State University Board of Trustees. Okay, you guys can sit down. All right, so we're committed to having candidates for all 7 county commissioner districts. I would imagine that you Democrats would like to have Democrats on the ballot to vote for, right? Yeah. Yes. Okay, so we need your help because I don't have it right here. We need 2 more candidates. I think I have one for District 5, but we need a candidate for District 6, which includes Hopkins, Watson, Otsego, and Trowbridge Townships. And we need a candidate for District 3, which includes Allegan, Monterey, and Salem Townships. So your assignment is to think of 10 people that you can ask who do they know that could run for the county commission. Okay? You don't ask them to run for the county commission. You ask them who do they know. Okay? So that's your assignment. All right. 2 weeks left, and we have some information over on the table there about what does a county commissioner do, because a lot of people don't know that. And we also have some information about how to find us on the Facebook and the website. So, the main attraction. So I'm here to introduce Andy Dominiani. He is the anchor of Channel 3 weeknights at 5, 6, 11, and also News Channel 3 Live at 10. He's a graduate of Kalamazoo College and has held weekday anchor positions in Charlotte, Columbus, and Minneapolis. He has been honored with many journalistic awards, including a 2014 Emmy nomination. He serves as the chairman of Discover Kalamazoo Board of Directors, a board member of the Kalamazoo Symphony Orchestra, the Community Healing Center also. He was named 2016 Child Advocate of the Year, and in his 20-plus year career, Andy has reported from all over the world, including Port-au-Prince, Haiti, and Brussels, Belgium. Andy and his wife, Erin, live in Kalamazoo, along with their 2 children, Riley and Will. Thank you so much for being our host.
We want to learn about the candidates now, not so much about me. Thank you so much. I am Andy Dominiani from News Channel 3, thrilled to be your moderator for the evening. I have very limited political experience myself, unless you count president of my 5th grade student council. I ran on a platform of re-allowing sugary birthday treats and longer recess if you finished your math. Sadly, I was never one of those kids. And that was the extent of my career in politics. But welcome to the Candidates Forum. Really, this is democracy in action. You know, in this country, we take pride in peaceful transitions of power, and we depend on our representative government. The person elected to represent Michigan 6 will become the conduit for us all, for their constituents' positions. They will also rely on their own best judgment to vote in the way that they think will best suit us back home. It is an awesome responsibility. Tonight, we'll get to know these folks. We'll find out what kind of leaders they are now and what kind of leaders they would be in Washington. It's going to be a 2-hour forum with a brief 7th inning stretch. The candidates have been seated in random order, and they'll be answering questions in a different order as well. They have not seen the questions beforehand. P.S. Neither have I. So this should be interesting. They'll have a 2-minute introduction period, and then every question and answer will be 90 seconds per candidate, and they will be told when their time is up. There's no time for rebuttal. We want to cover a lot of ground tonight, so we really want to hear from them. And at the end, a 2-minute closing from each of them as well. Finally, hold your applause, please, until all 7 have answered the question. So we're going to get started with David Benak introducing himself.
Hello, my name is David Benak. I'm running to represent you in the 6th District. I'm running for a number of reasons, and one of those, the most important for me, is we need immediately to work on a single-payer universal health care system. That's one of the things that I worked on as one of the 3 people from the state of Michigan that Sanders chose to represent progressive reform at the Democratic National Platform Committee. I'm running because we need to work on our educational system. We need to have a world-class public education system. As a teacher and as a product of public schools all the way through my career, these are things that I think are really important things that we have to focus on. I'm running because we need to protect our environment. As the vice chair for the Michigan Democratic Party's Environmental Caucus, this is an issue that's close to my heart. We need to make sure that every single person in this country drinks clean water, breathes clean air, and always has clean, healthy food to eat. I'm running because I grew up working on my family's farm, and we need to restore family farms in this country. Family farms are the way that we can restore rural economies and help improve our rural environments. I'm also running because I think that the underlying cause of almost every problem we face in this country is money in politics. And I'm running to end the corrupting influence of money in politics, and because of my commitment to that cause is the reason that the Michigan Democratic Party's Progressive Caucus, Justice Democrats, Brady Congress, have all endorsed our campaign, because we're going to be a champion to make sure that corporate money is no longer driving the political system. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Rich Eicheltz. I'm a scientist and with 30 years of business experience in healthcare, mostly working with smaller companies, helping them get started. I'm running for Congress to retire Fred Upton after 32 years, to restore fact-based thinking in Washington, and to get our economy moving again. In the 32 years that Fred Upton has been our congressman, growth in our economy here in Southwest Michigan has gone from 2% growth annual basis down to 0%, literally 0%. And we can look around the district and we can understand that that's the case even without any statistical analysis. Everywhere I go, median age is rising. That's because there aren't good paying, rewarding jobs to keep young people here. And at the same time, we have people, leaders from the business world and from the municipal leaders who tell me that there isn't enough talent in the district to drive business. So that's the definition of an economy that doesn't work for anyone. And I believe we need to make an economy that works for everyone, protects the planet, and provides for universal health care. As your congressman, I will be focused every day on working hard to accomplish those goals. Thank you.
Good evening, everybody. Thanks for coming out, for getting out of the sunshine. It's so rare here to come hear us all talk and introduce ourselves to you. Thank you for coming out. I'm Matt Longjohn, candidate for Congress here in the 6th District. I'm running for Congress to help improve the health and quality of life of everyone in this district, and as many people as possible of all shapes, sizes, stripes, denominations, etc. across the country. If you take anything away from tonight's presentation about me, I hope it's the following things. I am from and of this district with family history that goes back 150, 160 years on my family side, but also on my wife's side. I'm a graduate of public schools here, Kalamazoo College here. I'm a medical professional that has a career of outcomes, is the second thing that I'd like to point out. After 20 years of organizing coalitions around the country to make policy changes in transportation, agriculture, education, public health, and healthcare, we actually worked with 253 cities, for example, in my last job, to produce 39,000 changes impacting 73 million lives. Those outcomes matter, and they will matter when I can go toe-to-toe with Fred every day between now and November. To win in this district, we have to provide a sharp contrast with Mr. Upton throughout the campaign, and I can do that too. So those are some of the things that I hope you learn about me if we haven't had a chance to meet already. The things that I want to make sure that we do, obviously, in Washington when we get through this November election cycle, is we have to make sure that our healthcare system is reformed to be a patient-centered healthcare system. I was identified by President Obama's White House as one of the top 100 innovators in healthcare in America for the community jobs programs that I created that saved lives and billions of dollars. We have to make sure that our public education system is fully funded and that our collective bargained rights and benefits in education are protected as well. We'll talk more about the issues as we go. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Aida Gray. Since I am the newest candidate, I'm going to fill you in on a little bit of my bio and then give you some background on what my beliefs and what I would like to accomplish. I am a wife, mother, and a veteran. I've been married for 15 years. I have a 6-year-old son who's about to be 7. And as a veteran, I've also taken that a little bit farther when I came back. I went into the VA and started working there, and I was a housekeeper at the VA. I loved the job, but my supervisor sent me to a school at work program, and it was to get you some more medical background and stuff like that. And I did not want to do that, but I did, was one of the 2 highest people in the class, and she goes, I think you're wasting your time. You're wasting your talent doing what you're doing. So how about you go back to school, and when you come back, we'll have a job for you. I really want you to stay here. I know you love it too. And I do. I love the VA. I love the veterans. So that is where I'm coming from. Now, as far as why I'm running, I am running because I'm also Mexican. And I want to tell you, and please spread this around, I am not a rapist or a murderer. Okay? I was so livid when I heard that, and I was heartbroken when my fellow Americans really didn't vote him in because he lost by 3 million votes. But the system that we have here allowed someone into our highest office. And so my complacency in the political area diminished. I got my red card. You will hear more about me and my politics in a minute. Thank you very much.
Thank you, elegant Dems. We have a special guest in the house tonight. His name is Mike Wolpe, Howard Wolpe's son. He's coming from California. And I just want to tell you, Mike, it was an honor to work with your father. He was the gold star of Congress. And thank you for him, and thank you for what you've been doing. I, like a lot of you, the day after the election woke up and said, my God, what has happened? And then we saw the Trump administration come in with a Republican Congress to enable them. And they started attacking health care. They attacked the environment. They attacked the working men and women of America. And it was attack after attack after attack. I have spent 30 years of my life in Democratic progressive politics, and I decided I can't stand by and watch this anymore. We need to go to Washington. We need to flip 23 seats. We need to flip 23 seats in order to provide a check and a balance somewhere in this system. Senator Levin came in to help me a couple of months ago, and that's what he was emphatic about. We need a check and a balance somewhere to stop what's going on. And I believe that we can do that. We can win this district. And let's get a couple things straight. Medicare and Social Security are not entitlements. I know what a contract is. It's a contract. It's something you paid for and you deserve and you are entitled to, and no one is going to mess with, okay? The EPA is not an instrument to attack the environment. The EPA is there to defend it. And Pruitt and this gang running the EPA is an abomination. And we need to provide a check and a balance to put the brakes on this. And that's what I'm going to do when I get to Washington. I'm going to be a progressive, active voice to get things done and make a difference and make sure everybody gets a fair shot. Thank you.
Good evening. I'm Paul Clements. I teach National Economic Development at Western Michigan University. And this election needs to be about taking the country in new directions. Will we continue to have an economy that works for the wealthy but not for all of us? Will the cancer of money in politics kill our democracy? Will we continue to have a healthcare system that costs twice as much as in other countries and delivers health that's not as good? Will we give our young people the education they need to prosper in the 21st century? If people are working full-time, are they going to be able to raise a family? Will our seniors be able to retire and live with respect? Will we continue to have tens of thousands of people in our district suffering from hunger and homelessness? Now, we're going to discuss a lot of issues tonight, but I think the fundamental question that we face is, will our kids do better than our generation has done? So far, when Fred Upton went to Congress, in his 30 years, this district has stagnated. He has sold us out. If we want to build a broad and inclusive economy, a strong economy that works for all of us, we have to take a lot of new directions. Fred Upton has sold us out. The Republican Congress is a disaster. I'm running to fix that. Thank you.
My name is Eponine Garrett, and surprise, I am also running to unseat Fred Upton. I am a member of the Democratic Socialists of America. I am a member of the 6th District Democrats, the Kalamazoo County Democrats, and most importantly to me, I'm an activist. I'm a community activist first and a politician second, because whoever is going to replace Fred Upton needs to be somebody who knows how to build community, who knows how to work with folks from all different walks of life to accomplish a common goal, who can get together with people who you may have had conflict with in the past to accomplish something that neither of the two of you could have done alone. I'm running because I see two young ladies in the audience tonight, you there, and you over there, because someday I want to vote for you if that's what you want to do, is run for something. We talk about the children of America. We applaud them when they're standing up against gun violence in so many areas, unless, of course, they're children of color in Chicago complaining about police brutality, unless, of course, they're trying to be an 18-year-old running for mayor. I think it's time, when we say that we want the youth vote as Democrats, when we say that we are running for our future progeny, it's time for us to have representation at the table. It's time for us to be a part of the solution and not just left behind in the aftermath. I'm running because I'm a chemist. I want to put scientific fact into environmental policy. I'm running because I want to move towards a single-payer healthcare system, and we need to have tuition-free public universities and more vocational opportunities for folks in the area. And I'm running because it is time to put the power of the people back into U.S. Congress. Thank you.
And thank you, David, Rich, Matt, Aida, George, Paul, and Ebony. All right, let's get right to our first question, and we'll address that to begin with to Rich Eichels and work our way down. You can stay right where you are and just pass the mic, or if you really feel like it, you can drop the mic. No, don't do it. I don't even know who these are. All right, Rich, and this is for the entire panel, but Rich, we'll start with you. It's about the environment. The long-term quality of water supplies in Michigan is threatened by climate change, by pollution, by aging infrastructure, as seen by the Flint water crisis. How would you address this in Congress?
So first of all, Andy, thanks for the question. I've lived almost, except for when I was in school, I've lived my entire life within half a mile or a mile of Lake Michigan. And it's, for me, it's just part of my being. And I've learned over the last couple of years in particular to respect even more the watersheds around Lake Michigan, because those are actually what feed the lake. We get some rainwater, but it actually collects from a much broader base. And the Great Lakes Restoration Initiative is under constant assault from this administration. Every year, it's now, the zero-line budget has been put in there, and we've so far been able to protect that. But the part of it that's at the biggest risk is the watershed. And I think we need to pay more attention to the watersheds than has been currently done. And the other part of all of this is this whole Nestle thing. It doesn't make any sense to just, charge Nestle a flat fee, just to pump as much water out as they want. And I think our water is what is a vital natural resource for us, and we can't just give it away. And now I've stopped.
I said before, I'm running to improve the health and quality of life of everyone in this district. You can't live your healthiest possible life if you're in a toxic environment, if you don't have access and able to utilize clean, healthy water. So of course that's a priority. And in public health, as was mentioned, we worry about water safety, especially after the Flint crisis. So while everything Rich said I agree with, I want to zero in on that. We have a crumbling national infrastructure that isn't just about roads and bridges. We need to make sure that our water systems are intact. The failure in Flint was just one sign of a failing infrastructure. We need to make sure that when we fund a public health infrastructure, that we can do so actually out of savings from healthcare, when we create community jobs, well-paying jobs with livable wages, where collective benefits are part of the contracts, to improve our infrastructure. Congressman Upton has voted against the protection of water here in our clean water bills, et cetera. It's great that we get Congressman Upton to say one thing about funding the Great Lakes Initiative, but he hasn't always been able to put his rhetoric where or put his policy where his rhetoric is, and we have to hold him accountable for that here. Last but not least, I would say that like Rich, I grew up on these lakes. and want to protect him with all of my policy prescriptions and hope that I'll get a chance to do so.
I am not from this area, just for full disclosure. I'm from Detroit, so the Flint water crisis is kind of more of a neighborly thing for me to worry about than it is. It's way on the other side of the state. I'm not worried about it. I have friends and family that live in Flint. What we need to do is strengthen our EPA. We need to strengthen the EPA, their policies. Everybody says, ooh, regulation is a bad word. You know, regulation gives us our clean drinking water. Regulation has given us free, or clean air for a long time now. I remember at one point when I was a child, I remember seeing on TV in Ohio or Iowa, I think it wasn't Iowa, there was fire on the water because there was a spillage. And me as a child, I was scared. I'm like, Mom, the water is on fire. How does water become on fire? And after that point, they started increasing the policies so that we can have better air and pure, cleaner air, and the same for better, cleaner, pure water. What we need to do is focus on the policies that Upton, that all of the members of Congress have in their power to change. And that includes when they vote up or down on the person who is in charge of the EPA, such as Scott Pruitt.
Well, I'll take off where you left off. First thing you do is fire Scott Pruitt. That's the first thing you do. The second thing is you invest in infrastructure, as my other colleagues were saying. You've got to put money behind it. We have a degrading pipeline system throughout the country. It'll create jobs. It'll pay well-paid union jobs, and it'll restore our water system from what is becoming a third world to a first world country. The other thing I would do, though, is something that doesn't require legislation, but as